the sweet geometry of patience. The true life cycle of crème brûlée does not begin with an egg or a flame, but with a simple, quiet thought, an idea of perfect contrast. It is the imagined alchemy of soft against hard, cool against warm, the promise of a sharp crack that yields to velvet. Before the work begins, we must savor this intention, for the heart of any worthwhile creation is a clear vision of its potential. This first stage is the acceptance of a sweet discipline. The foundation is laid. Science tells us that custard is a delicate emulsion, a suspension of milk proteins and fat droplets bound together by the lecithin in egg yolks. The ratio of cream to yolk must be precise, often 4 yolks to 1 cup of heavy cream, a golden measure of richness. Too little and the structure fails, too much and it becomes rubbery. This balance is the first lesson in resourcefulness, knowing what to commit and what to hold back. Here, in the blending, the future texture is determined. We temper the yolks by slowly whisking in the warm, sugar-infused cream. This patient act prevents coagulation, building a seamless unity where separate parts, the lipid of the cream and the protein of the egg, agree to become one. Reflect on the quiet power of integration, how disparate elements, when introduced thoughtfully, create something more enduring than they were alone. The mixture is poured into its shallow porcelain bath, ready for the oven. But first, a historical note. The crème brûlée, or burnt cream, has rivals in the culinary lineage, including the similar crema catalana and the English Trinity cream. The French claim of its invention in the 17th century remains deliciously debated, proving that greatness is often rediscovered rather than simply created. The use of a bain-marie, a warm water bath, is a cultural touchstone of gentle cooking. The oven is a zone of quiet transformation. The heat does not boil, but encourages the proteins to stretch and bond, setting the delicate structure. At approximately 180 degrees Fahrenheit, the custard is fully set, its edges firm but its center still yielding, holding a tantalizing wobble. This is a moment of necessary inaction. Once the boundary is set, you must trust the inherent chemistry to finish its work. It reminds us that often, good things come to those who wait, especially when waiting is a deliberate part of the process. The long, cool rest in the refrigerator is perhaps the most difficult stage. The chilling is not merely about temperature, it is a vital chemical pause, allowing the new protein network to fully tighten and stabilize. The custard, now structurally sound, awaits its destiny. This period teaches us the profound lesson of patience and stillness. Just as a great idea must be incubated away from the light, our own best self is often formed in the quiet, reflective periods of life. The sugar layer is the final uniform. It must be applied with meticulous care, fine granulated, and even thickness, the destiny of the dessert resting upon this crisp veneer. This is where the practical application of knowledge comes to the fore. A too thin layer will burn, not caramelize. A too thick layer will be tooth-breaking. The choice of sugar, like the choice of words, is essential, preparing the surface for the dramatic climax. Now, the torch, the high, direct heat, is a metaphor for the crucible moments we all face. The sugar layer, reaching 320 degrees Fahrenheit, undergoes the Maillard reaction and caramelization simultaneously, transforming from white crystals to glassy amber brown. The sugar is broken down and reformed into a complex array of flavorful compounds. Into the fire, and out of the crucible comes gold. This brief, intense ordeal creates the necessary resistance for the pleasure to come, confirming that true sweetness is often forged under pressure. The sound of perfection is a simple thing. It is the sharp, thin crack when the dessert spoon finally breaks through the fragile glass ceiling of the caramel. This is the moment of release, the end of the tension built by the entire process. The practical application here is simple. Never rush the breaking. Press with confidence and let the crisp surface shatter against the cool, yielding resistance of the custard below. This rupture is the reward for the waiting. The life cycle concludes not with an ending, but with a lingering taste. You have broken the caramel, and now the spoon delivers the exquisite contradiction. A piece of warm, smoky sugar with a mouthful of cool, creamy vanilla. Savor the moment, for it will not return. In this final texture, the union of discipline and delight, we find a miniature map of a meaningful life, built on a solid, quiet foundation, perfected through a moment of necessary fire, and culminating in a moment of pure, shared enjoyment.